Hi, and for those of you who don't know me, my name is Lyle English, and I'm talking to you from my home office here in a little town called Lurgan, which is about 20 miles south of Belfast. I think this is a great idea having these little video clips to talk about ourselves, introduce ourselves. So, in the next couple of minutes or so, that's exactly what I want to do. I originally from South Africa. I come from a banking background. I was in banking in South Africa for about 25 years. Moved around various banks, various positions, and finished up the last 6 or 7 years as a bank manager. During that time, I spent 3 years in training, learning, development in the bank. And how that came about was I one day made a presentation to some senior managers. I can't even remember what it was about. Unknown to me, the national training manager was in the audience, and afterwards he came up to me and said, Lyle, have you ever thought of going into training? Because I think you would really enjoy it. And I guess that was the first sort of plant of a seed. And so I went into training and had a great 3 years doing training, mainly management and sales throughout the bank. Always hankered after get back into training, and so about 20 years ago went through midlife crisis, according to my wife, left the bank and started to do what I'm doing now. So for 3 years in South Africa, I was an associate trainer for two training providers, and they gave me the opportunity to do quite a lot of work throughout Africa and various African countries. That was mainly sales, problem solving, decision making, and a little bit of management. In the meantime, I married a girl from Lurgan, got two adopted children, Brenton and Kendall. And about 17 years ago, we decided, unfortunately, that South Africa was no longer the place to live. And so we decided to move to Northern Ireland, which we did. No regrets, good move at the right time for the right reason. So, what I've been doing in the last 17 years, I arrived 17 years ago with nothing in place, no job offer, and so that was quite scary. My first income was about sort of 7, 8 months after I arrived here, so that was a bit scary. But I continued to believe in myself. I knew what I wanted to do, got the old network going, and to cut a long story short, I now mainly do associate work for 4 or 5 different companies. Most of my work is in the leadership skills development, working with first-time team leaders through to middle managers across a wide selection of sectors, both locally and fortunately also been able to do a lot of international work and been able to get to places where ordinarily I just would not have got to. One of the companies obviously that I do work with and have done for the last 4 or 5 years is OnTrack International. And I can honestly say that I have really enjoyed my experience with OnTrack International, and specifically being involved in the Kerry Foods business here in Northern Ireland. So over the last 4 years, I have been involved in rolling out the Leading in KPS program within the 4 sites here in Northern Ireland. Have been back a number of times to the various sites and have built up some really good relationships over the years. I've really enjoyed the program. It's great to see the difference in people, how they behave as leaders, as managers, as team leaders, even over a short space of 3 months. And I encourage them to think about some of the small changes that they can make. And when we come to the embedding day at the end of each cohort, I just get such a buzz from those days, because you hear stories of the impact that the program has had. And what I love is what I call unsolicited backslapping. So what you're hearing around the table is that other people commenting that they have noticed changes in some of their colleagues and the difference that has made. So as a program, is a piece of work that I really enjoy and do hope that that continues. I really have to say that I enjoy working with OnTrack International. I have found them to be supportive. For the most part, felt very much part of the team, been involved, and I do hope that that relationship continues and grows as the days go by. So that's a little bit about me. On the personal side, as I said, I married a girl from Logan. I have 2 adopted children. My son has 2 children, so I'm a proud, doting grandfather. And my daughter, she got married in October. What do I do in my spare time? I love to hill walk, and a group of 4 of us do that once a month. I love jazz. I have intentions of learning to play the saxophone, and I love cooking. I love nothing more than spending a Saturday in the kitchen with my jazz blaring in the background, with a bottle of red on hand, pretending to be Floyd, and having a real cookout and preparing and planning for a dinner party. I just love that, and the more I can do that, the better. So that's a little bit about Lyle. Thank you for the opportunity to talk a little bit about myself and who I am, and I look forward to seeing some of the other video clips to see and hear and find out more about some of the other folk involved with OnTrack International. Thanks for your time, for listening. See you again. Bye-bye.